watching all the calves grow. Yeah, this Mesquite land feels like home. It's the LRanch where I wanna roam.
Hey everybody, welcome to the LRanch. Today we're going to be starting a new map. We're going to be on the Mountain Hill map. It's a map that's been around for a while. A couple of iterations of it. A smaller 2x or single version of it. Now there's a 4x, or there was in 22 also. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on the map. So this map is basically a German Alpine foothills map. It's supposed to offer a little bit of a mix of large-scale industrial farming and a little bit of challenging mountain terrain. It's got a lot, and I do mean an absolute lot, of production on it, and it is very, very well done. The creator behind this goes by FM Modding now. I believe it used to be Farmer Andy. Maybe he changed his name. Maybe somebody else picked the map up. I'm really not really sure about that. Full multi-fruit. It's got some extra crops on it. It's a 4X map. And that means it's 4 times the size of your normal farming simulator map, and gives you a lot of room to spread out. So pea fruits, it's multi-fruit, it has some custom crops on it, and it also has a lot of, like I say, I go back again to the advanced productions. Logistics, because it's a 4X map, it's very large, it's stretched out, you got to do a lot of stuff. And it also has some pretty steep terrain in places. It also is precision farming ready. I don't usually use precision farming, mainly because I'm lazy, I'll be honest. And other than that, it's actually just a great map. So let's get in there and take a look at some of this stuff. So, we're going to start here at this is going to be the store point here. If you played on the map before, it used to have a very different store point in it. It was pushed all the way up in this corner of the yard here. One of the issues with the old version is you would res stuff, and it would push it over the fence. Haven't played with this one enough to check that out yet, but that may be the case in this one too. I don't know. So let's go ahead and we'll go over and jump in the truck and close the door. I have to turn IC back on to do that, I guess. Let's go ahead and get all this closed up. It's strange, you gotta close the door to get in. So we're gonna start here in the yard. One of the interesting things that they've actually modified the new version of this to do is, used to it was kind of difficult to get in and out of the repair point. Now they have a repair point, a charge point right here together. and they've opened it up around back so you can actually loop all the way around the building and get back out. So actually pretty cool that way. One of the required mods for this is one of the automatic opening gate systems. This one seems to work considerably better than some of the others I've tried in the past. So let's take a little look at the map. And we're going to have to go through a save, like always. But, go ahead and take a look here. And we're going to kind of zoom way out. This is a pretty good sized map. I do not have my auto drive courses set up on this yet. If you look out here in the wooded areas, they have these, basically they're supply and storage sheds. We'll move over here and let you look. So there's shed points out here where you can actually place a shed. So when you're doing your logging, you've got a building to store your logging stuff in. This shed here looks like it's been destroyed. Don't know if you can actually fix it or not. That's an interesting little deal there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start down here in the southeast corner of the map. We're going to make these few little points down here. We're going to work our way back up. We're going to hit right here. We're going to hit the French fry factory. Then there's actually a bakery, another fuel station. This is where we're at right now, is the vehicle shop. We're actually going to go the opposite direction and work our way down there. And then we're going to work our way around the outside of the map and then bump some of this stuff in the core. So, and let's get back to our truck. And here we go. Played on this map, I probably had pushing, I'm going to say 250, 300 hours on this map in the FS22 version. Really like this map a lot. As those of you who have watched me play on the Backroads County map, it really doesn't have a lot of production on it. And I have added a lot of production to it. If you want to take a look around here as we go by, there's one of our service stations. There's a neighborhood over here to the left. Just gives you a little something to navigate over here. There is traffic on the map, and it moves at a pretty good clip. It's not as fast as some, but pretty decent. This is the bakery we were looking at on the map a minute ago. Up there, and all of our points in there. Here's our chips factory, i.e. crisps, or French fries for those of us of the American persuasion. And good looking map though, very well done. The perimeter surround is done exceptionally well. And again, you've got some of these floating hills through here, make the terrain very easy to a lot of forestry on the map. If that's what you're into, there's plenty for you to do. Then you add the productions to that, it really is nice. Here. one of your sheds down there we were talking about. Looks like that one's been pretty well destroyed too. Miskept. And we're gonna make our way down here to the lumber mill. This is also a tea factory down here. Let's go pull over here and see what has to be done to these buildings. I see they actually have a action point on them. We'll see what it says. Start repairing. I'll be darned. And you deliver necessary. Oh, it's a full construction thing, and I guess all of those are. So that would be adds a whole new element to the game. That's actually pretty interesting. And and it puts up the construction stuff for us. Go around here and see if this goes all the way around. Yep. Our gate. Delivery points. And this is the same issue you got into with the old map. You couldn't leave this particular area and go straight to the other side. You had to run out through here and make a lap around. Actually, really interesting. Very nice. Very well done indeed. Again, something completely new for this one. Make sure we don't have anything further down in there we need to go look at. So this is going to become our Friday map, and I'm going to try to set Mondays will be on the Judith Plains map at this point. Wednesdays are going to be Backroads County, and Fridays are going to be here on the Mountain Hill map. I think that will give us some diversity. I have weather set up in Backroads County for north central Texas, and we still have Montana weather on Judith Plains. And I'm going to leave this on what I believe to be a German or Bavarian weather system. In here, here's some of our vineyards here. I'm gonna turn that off. Gives us a little better visuals. I believe this would be a good a time as any to take a look at our crops. So we've got alfalfa, canola, carrot, clover, corn, cotton, grapes, grass, green beans, hemp, hops, lavender, long grain rice, oats, olives, onions, parsnips, peas, poppies, potatoes, red beets, rice, rye, sorghum, soybeans, spelt, spinach, straw, sugar beet, sugar cane, sunflower, tobacco, triticale, and wheat. And then we have all manner of production stuff here. I'm not going to go through all those. You'll have to take those in on your own time. That's just a massive list of productions on here to give you an idea. I have not went through and counted either. So, yeah, there's that. And say we've got our vineyards here, and this working area for the vineyards. A lot of sheds on here. You're never going to have to look for a place to store your equipment. And not absolutely sure what we got here. I think it may be olive. Yep, olive. That's what I thought it was. Sure. I've never done olives before. I may actually try to do that on this map. That would be a big step up there, I think. Looks like they have plenty of fuel tanks provided, scattered around the maps. And then this is see what this production is. An olive processing plant right here by the vineyards, or excuse me, orchard, not vineyard. And I assume that's correct. I've never been around olives. And just for everybody's knowledge, I will be creating a definitive auto drive course for this map, and I'll make that available to anybody that wants it. Just to kind of make everybody's life easy. And quite frankly, I enjoy doing the auto drive courses anyway, so be sure and stand by and keep an eye out for our new definitive auto drive course, and learn not to drive into birch trees. Would be a great thing to do. But when I get that up, we'll make sure it's available somewhere where you can get it. I find that after you've used auto drive to the fullest extent of what auto drive is capable of, you kind of get spoiled for it after a while. That is one of the things I'm going to go over. Is there are a lot of functions in auto drive that quite frankly people don't even realize are there. And run back this way. Back in here, see what this is. I have yet to find the animal dealer on here. I know there's got to be one. And I got a cement plant on this one. That's awesome. Not one of these on the old one. And I noticed on he's got some of these scattered around that are the actual container ferries. Are really cool. I noticed on a couple of the other spots he has forklifts that are actually working in the yards that are on a course. So it just brings everything to life. Really good thing. So far, all of the gates are well done. It's good open area there where you can. There's another shed to rebuild. It's a really brings the map to life when you put those things moving automatically on them, besides just the traffic. And I mean, it's just a spline ad when you're creating the map, but it makes such a difference when you're actually driving through or looking at the map. As I said earlier, there's a lot of height to this map, a lot of elevation change, and makes the map really nice. I don't know how many mail trucks we're going to pass, but that's 2 right there. And you ask, how do I know they're mail trucks? Did I pick them up and look underneath? No, I did not. As Checky Green said, brump bump. Yep. And this is our sugar processing plant down here. Again, lots of room to maneuver in there. You haven't got to worry about you. Speaking of maneuver, lots of room to maneuver down in here. You don't have to worry about your trucks getting bogged down or anything. Your outputs are well marked. A lot of people have problems with these green markers. If I remember right, you can actually turn that off. I think there's a way to turn that off. I do not recall for sure. And it may not have it anymore. But yeah. You don't have to have those on if I remember right though. There's one of your forklifts running around, moving stuff. Lots of deco on here with the containers and things like that. So I haven't checked the signage yet to see if it's Phantom or not, or if it's gonna. Yeah, the signage is all Phantom. Absolutely love it. I don't like knocking the signs over. I'm picky. Nice little creeks and bridges scattered out all over the map. Very pretty, very neat. I have not checked them to see if the fishing expansion will work in them or not. It would be kind of neat to just be able to throw a hook in wherever you wanted to, but one of those things that maybe we'll stop here in a minute at a creek and check it out and see. I know there used to be some productions back up here to our left. Don't know if there still are or not. May just be forest now. I guess this is as good a place as any to buy a fishing pole and see if we can fish. And tools. Okay. Go through a save now. Step out. And equip our hand tool. There we go. See where we got. Oopsie. Where'd my pole go? See. Try again. Get a little closer. Overcasted. There we go. Ah, darn it. But we know it works now. That's all we needed to know. We'll get back in our truck and finish the tour. We'll have to put a dock in somewhere where we can fish a little bit. I do know that there's fish production on this map as well. I'm gonna hit the postman. Wasn't the postman this time. But if you look here, we got all kinds of fields and everything all the way around. Like I say, that surround is just a knockout. Got another little village down here. You can take a drive through. And right here, I found the animal dealer, guys. There we go. I've been looking for that. And they have water points scattered all over the map where you can pick up water. There's all our cattle. So this used to be in the southeast corner of the map, kind of. This same one, they looks like they've opened it up a little bit. It used to be pretty narrow, getting right through there. But your hay drop is there. Yeah, pretty good. Let's say different, but also the same. Another sell point over here across the road. And right up here behind us is, let's see what this is. This is distillery right there. That's an addition. And now we have a pellet factory as well. Excellent. Excellent. Neat little additions, things that did not used to be on the map. They've shuffled things around a little bit and added them. We're up here to make a little drag through the village. I did notice that there's actually a playground equipment factory on this map, which I thought was very interesting. I saw the playground there, it reminded me. And this is... oh, a carpentry shop there. Some of this stuff I'm learning with you guys. I did do a quick cursory overview on it before I got on with you guys, but nice. But I wanted it to be fresh when I did it, so I waited. Look at everything. And looks like this is another farm there. Like a dairy. I haven't looked to see. I think these are the... oh wow, and they did the paving stones. Let's see. Oh, and it has the feeding robot system here. Water storage. Very good. I do really like these water storage vessels that have the marker built into them. That's really nice there. Really like the way this dairy is laid out. Another thing I found out when I was doing the cursory run around to start with is that if you don't own the land, the gates and doors are not going to open. Now that used to be normal, but I've noticed on some of the newer maps that that isn't the case. What is that out there in the middle of the field? Driving like a drunken yahoo. I'm going to go ahead and head off up here to the right. Again, we'll have more production points up here. I believe this is going to be... I am going to be incorrect. I was going to say bakery, but it isn't. This is another, maybe another animal dealer. Very interesting. I really need to learn to speak German so I can read the signs on some of these these maps. I went into a couple of them in the past and found all the graphics and updated the graphics to English for my personal use, but because I won't ever repost someone else's stuff. I don't want anybody to think that it's, you know, I'm trying to make it mine. That's not the case. What do we got here? The restaurant. Oh, this is the garden center. If I can get across before that school bus gets here. Oh yeah, there's a lot of production right along here. Look what this is. Because he's reutilized some of the buildings here. other maps that are around here. Usually a trigger somewhere where you can actually, and I guess not. Do it this way. What we'll do is, let me get back around to me. Well done building, though. One I've seen before. Okay, check where we're at. Ah, gonna be the granary. Awesome. Okay. Some more orchards here. Herbicide production, tobacco. I know tobacco's on the map. I don't think this is the tobacco. Oh, this is more commercial production stuff here. Kind of excited to play on some of these. This is seems like it's got a lot to be done on the map. I'm fairly surprised that some of the bigger names haven't covered this already. And there is the tobacco. And what we got here? The other side of the tobacco. And this service station down here is also a sell point, which is kind of interesting, and so you can use it as a kind of an all sell. We are going to go to the right. We get to this corner. We're making the exterior of the map. Again, very nice drive. It's, you know, check the map out and look around. Trying some different music today rather than the strictly country that I usually play, because I know some of you guys are not necessarily country fans much. Checker, and away we go. There's UPS. Weren't for UPS and the mail on this map, we wouldn't have anything, would we? We got another big production down here. And this is a lumber processing plant. So that means we have one in the southeast corner of the map and one in the northwest corner of the map. very nice indeed. Pretty good view from up here too. And I have my draw distance set as far as I can possibly set it. Try to keep that clipping on the mountains from happening. For those of you who might be interested in my setup, I'm using a AMD 7800 XT chip and a 9070 video card with 128 gigs of RAM. And I play on a 60-inch monitor with an Xbox controller. I do not use an Xbox branded controller. I'm using something called a Mamba controller that I picked up off of Amazon. Works great. Battery life is fantastic. I highly recommend if you're looking for something new. I don't get paid anything for that. I just like it. And for our broadcast, I am using OBS, and I run my controls with Touchpad Pro, which allows me to take my tablet and run my OBS through my tablet without having to click back and forth between OBS and the game. So that kind of gives you a rundown of my stuff. My music actually comes from YouTube. These are basically generic playlists that I look up and run through my system into OBS, and I use a desktop input to pull my speakers in. Another little farm right here, very nice and dairy. But they got some sheep here too, and I noticed that there's charging ports pretty much at every ranch or farm. Excuse me, everything to me is a ranch. But yeah, this is the, I believe, the dairy. Yep, this is the dairy. I don't know if it'll, I think it will. Yeah, it'll let me in. The dairy, it'll let me come in here and tool around a little bit. Like we hit a collision there. Yep, we did. Oh well. Drop off points. Everything back here. Is that a cat or dog? Dog. We got dogs running around the map. Very interesting. And by default, these productions are sell points, which is, I love that. This map. Kind of hopped over the corner there. Go up in here. Again, I haven't been up in here yet. I don't know what's up in here. Some really cool design work, for one thing. Oh, this is the playground equipment manufacturer. Is up here on the rise, along with some pretty fantastic views. Pretty neat stuff, though. They got some really cool toys out in the yards. Let's jump out. Just hop over the fence there. Trespass a little bit. The walking trail down here, or riding trail, either way would work, I guess. So I'm actually going to start running my streams for an hour and a half versus the 2 hours that I had been doing in the past. Main reason for that is, quite frankly, I don't want to wear out my welcome with you folks. If we can keep from it. And I don't know, maybe my 2 hour streams were too long and people weren't wanting to stick them out and watch, so I figured I would adjust to an hour and a half and we would see if there was any change. Please do me a favor, if you're watching and you enjoy what you're seeing, like and share for me, and let's try to extend our reach a little bit. My goal is to produce some actually pretty good educational materials to go along with my series. Started with auto drive. I'm going to do one for course play, and then I may start doing some less technical stuff on general farming and productions. But for right now, we're going to finish up with the auto drive courses and see how we go from there. There used to be, if there's a whole town up here. Cruise down through here just so we can kind of get a look at it. I think I turned too soon. Yep, I did. What in the world? Go out here and take a look at the town. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not, but the church bell rings when you go by and things like that. One of the issues we used to have with this map was the streets were very, very narrow. Looks like they've widened those out a great deal. Gonna make that a lot easier to navigate. And not sure what this outfit is. I'll have to go back and look at that. Another service station here. I think that may be where you purchase grain, seed, things like that. And up here on the left is going to be, I believe, the spinnery, rope, tailor shop. All of that is in this section here to the left. Get over here. I'm gonna miss anything. Again, they did such an excellent job on this. It'd be a shame to miss something. Let's see what this is, and then we're gonna try and go back the other way. Refinery. Very cool. Wonder if we can actually use our oil production from, I don't know who made that. I have a whole set of pump jacks and oil field equipment. Kind of getting back into the core of the map just a little bit. So things are probably going to get a little more hectic as we go along. Multiple productions right here. Let's see what we got. Cereal factory. This another grain processing. Yep. The mill right here next to the cereal factory. And there's like seed production, maybe. Very cool. See if these gates are fast enough. They are. A lot of times they don't set the trigger out far enough on those, and it's hard to navigate. And I do not know if that is actually a function of the gate mod, because there is a required mod on here for gates, and there's a required mod on here for the bale wrap, which I didn't quite understand why you needed that, but okay. Right here. Well, driving like a wall, man. And up here on top of the hill is what I would refer to as the main farm. In the old Mountain Hill map, this road that we're on now was literally just a chicken trail. Wasn't a paved road like it is now. Gonna run over the postman. I do know there's some productions up here included in this now that did not used to be here. Here's the actual farmhouse. I haven't bought this yet. Let me go ahead and do that right quick. So we can go check the farmhouse out. There we go. Let's see if we've... sleep trigger's just on the porch, so it's not an actual house. And let's see what we got out here. Got a wardrobe trigger by the clothesline. That's an interesting place for it, so I guess you gotta change clothes out in the yard. Got a farm maintenance point with a lift. The lift works. Some of them do, some of them don't. Let's see. Nope. Not a working lift, but that's okay. I can cut them some slack on a non-working lift for all the other stuff they've got in here. We have liquid storage over here. Water tower. Plenty of equipment storage. And looks like we have straw barns, root crop storage, again, I understand just enough German to not be able to figure out what's going on. Root crops there. Got a pretty nice size silo there. And looks like we have manure and yep. Very nice. And this road going to take us right back to where we started down there. That goes back to that backside southeast lumber mill. We go this way. There's one road we haven't been down yet that has some stuff on it. Another water supply point there. And come back around here and take a right. And got composter. Wow. Yeah. It's a little slow there. Oh, wow. Very nice indeed. Water operated mill. Very cool. Gates on that one don't work quite right. I'm wondering if it's something with the gate on that. Let's see where we're at here. I like how they've opened everything up so you can get all the way around the building, so when you drop off, you can drop off and get out. Oop. Like we've got vineyards across the road here. Quite a few. Let's take the little cut across here. There is a lot to see on this map, folks. That's more lumber there. Yep. Very, very well done. Again, I tend to start these maps when I do these tours and stuff. I have no equipment on this map. The only thing I have is the truck right now. What we're going to do here in a minute is we're going to go back to the main yard. Since we've already bought the farmyard, we're going to start setting our equipment up for that. And I am not sure. I'll go down there and see what that is. Cool building, whatever it is. Let's see here if we've that is spinnery. I'll be darned. Very cool. Oh wow, and they've built a sluice. That is very cool indeed. I don't know if there's anything else down here or not. Bridge to another road. That is... I'm not going to swear that that's everything on the map, but that's where we're going to stop for today. Make our way back to the equipment yard. Now, just a pro tip from somebody that ain't a pro, but so when I start actually setting up my auto drive for this, I will not do it in the truck. This truck here, I will set up my auto drive with a tractor, and the tractor will have as long a trailer as I can find that'll actually hook up to it on it. The reason I do it in a tractor versus doing it with a pickup is some of these pickups, this one included, are kind of unruly to maneuver down the road, and because of that, it makes things kind of difficult when you're setting up your auto drive courses, because you get bits and bobbles that you do not want with them. So our first purchase will probably be a tractor, and it will not be I think I'm gonna skip the middleman this time and go with that Massey here, and we're gonna go with the biggest Massey that we can get. I think we're gonna, yeah, there we go. I like those Nokians. And let's see, we got wheel weights all the way around. Standard. Let's go with wheel weights. I have the engine boost mod in here, so I'm actually going to go ahead and boost my power up 20%. My EU US, go US. Now my tag. So one of the things that we get into with this is if I go here, I'm on this one, it tells me that my truck is already that. So I'm going to rename this one M. Massey Ferguson. Again, it's just me being me. Okay. And then I will do TRT tractor, and this is 001. Actually, tell you what, let's do that different. Go RNC. Let's say LRNC RP 01. I think that works for me. There we go. Got that all set. And that way, if I pull another Massey tractor in here, I'll probably actually just name it 02. So, just checking the building out here. Way different than the old one. Okay. Go ahead and buy this. And I always buy everything. I don't lease. I use the one of the mods that I can pull cash in, and I don't worry about it when I'm starting out. Go down here. That is interesting. They have their own logo stuff for the... So the map actually puts those logo equipment categories in here, which is pretty interesting. See what else we got down here. Let's go here. I'm gonna get one of these long. Go with the Fleagle. I'm gonna go with that. Standard 2. No standard. Other's got a little wear on it. Really want that. And go ahead and set this one up. And go ahead and call it LRNC LRanch TRA. See how our stuff there pulls in, and it pulls in going the wrong direction. How in the world? Yeah, we'll have to fix that. I think the first thing that we need to do is move our store deliveries point with this map. Easiest way to do that is come out here. I'm just going to get out here in the middle. Get first person. Find myself like I want to. And then we'll do Shift, Alt, S. There. Now then, that changed our delivery point to the middle. And what I would like to do now is deliver a couple of items. Make sure we're lined up the way we want to be. So let's just go ahead and grab big tractor. Again, the big quad track, the extra horsepower. I have in favorites the actual Steiger green, which I prefer to these. And then for the interior, I just usually do it in black. So we're gonna call this LRNC TRT 02. So buy that. While we're in here, we're going to go ahead and just buy a big cultivator at the same time. I figure out where all my other There we go. I usually pick up this biggest disc arrow down here, and I'm going to go with that today like I usually do. So, and see, it's going to be disc 1, DSC. Okay. See where we came out with that. Make sure that's loading the way we want it to. Excellent. So, next thing we want to do is we're going to go all the way around the building there. Come back across. What we're going to do first is create a path to maintenance. Let's go ahead and get our HUD up. First thing I want to do is record my path to maintenance. I always name this the same thing. This is shop maintenance. Right there. This always has to be a loop. It has to go all the way around. We're going to connect these 2 points. Right like so. Now, next thing we need to do, this off. We need to create another loop inside this loop. The easy way to do it is create 3 more straight lines, but we're going to create a 2-way path. It'll all make sense in a minute, folks. So what we've done here is we've created 3 sides. We messed up is what we did. So we come from here to here, put our corner on it. Now we can actually take this one and reverse it. We'll do that in a second. So the logic here is that by creating the horseshoe around the delivery area, the vehicles in the delivery area will be able to access an exit from the parking lot. It doesn't need to come back in, it only needs to go out. That way you don't have to be concerned about a vehicle inadvertently turning in there. What we can do now is since we have created a dual way here, and come back up here and grab one of our points that's out here a ways, and we're going to turn it in there. Same thing here. Turn in. I do in, out usually. Makes my life easier, I think. And I try to grab points that are somewhat near the end point, like this. Just like so. So now, for instance, if I go down here, zoom back in. I'm going to go through a save real quick. If you'll notice, the route system on this map is pretty much already set up. There's some connection points that really need to be made, but other than that, you're pretty dang good shape here. the thing about creating, and I'm going to do that too, but the thing about creating an auto drive map for you guys is the fact that you can't add my things to the map until we get your map completed, because me putting your map in here with a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't pertain to you isn't going to help you any. So that's probably the last custom intersection I'll do, and I only did that because I wanted it to make sure that that functioned the way I wanted it to. Right, little car, you go. So that's another thing with this particular map is the traffic is fast enough that unless you're in something really fast like the Ford or something, you won't catch them. It's not going to bog you down in traffic all the time, which is handy. And it's so much nicer now that traffic actually passes you. Hey guys, we're down to about 3 minutes to go. I'm probably gonna lay this one track right here, and we're probably gonna get ready to rock on out of here for tonight. We'll be back for the Spit and Whittle show on Sunday. Don't know for sure, but I'm thinking about maybe staying on this map for Spit and Whittle. That's kind of our wild card. Doesn't really matter which one we're on for that, because it's a community type situation, or at least that's what we're going for. Go ahead, that'll work far enough. So we're gonna do our in again, just like we did earlier. If you pull from these farther points, it actually works a lot better than pulling from close in, and you can make them turn however you want them to. That way, if you do have obstacles around the intersection, you can avoid those a little bit. It does add extra points to the map. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it doesn't. But it also generates a shortcut there. Now, my theory on shortcuts is so I want to change the points coming in be secondary. The points going out, I always want them to be a primary. Exits are always primary. Entries are always secondary. And the reason I do that is because I want you to be able to get out, but if you're not supposed to be in there, I don't want you in there. So I'm going to go to the other end down here and set up our entry, and we're going to say our goodbyes for today. I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your Friday night, and I want you to remember, folks, keep your cattle fed, keep your fields plowed, keep your mind clear, and your friends near. This is LRanch. And we're out until next time. Take care.